Okay, and this is how to publish your book in Amazon's KDP. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Printing, or excuse me, Publishing. Kindle Direct Publishing. Kindle has really expanded. For right now, I'll give you a rundown on what they do. They have launched Kindle Create, which is a free app, and you can create Kindle ebooks on it. Pretty much any kind of book, including novels, nonfiction, business books, picture books, textbooks, comic books. You know, you can import your word processing file into Kindle Create. You can style it, build a table of contents, export it, and publish it on Amazon. Kindle Create also imports PDF files. You can move your pages around, you can format them, create the needed ebook ready publishing file. Kindle Create can produce paperback books as well. Kindle also has the Kindle Kid Creator, which is great for creating books with illustrations. You import the PDF file, the JPEGs, the PNGs, the TIFF files, add pages and text to imported PDF files. It's an amazing, wonderful app. They also have Kindle Textbook Creator, where you can create and publish educational material for Kindle devices and reading apps. You can convert PDF files of existing textbooks, study guides, reference materials. You can include audio, video, hyperlinks, and image pop-ups. You know, and I'll create a PDF with all this information in it for you. I'll put it in the goodies page. Lastly, they have the Kindle Comic Creator, which was the original Kindle app designed for graphic novels and comic books. You have support for the panels, you know, little squares in comic books, for comic books, for imports, PDF, JPEG, PNG files, and TIFF formats. Okay, so there's really a lot of possibility for KDP. Now, I'm going to take you through the publishing process. When you go to KDP and set up your account, this should be the first page that you come to, where you see Kindle Direct Publishing, Bookshelf Reports, Community, and KDP Select. I'm not going to go into all of those right now, but I'm just going to take you through publishing your paperback. There's plenty of instructions online for creating your paperback. I mean, your Kindle ebook. So this is the page that you will see when you log into your KDP account. What you're going to do when you're publishing your paperback is click on this button right here, paperback, and this is what you will see. This is the page with different fields of information that you're going to plug in. You're going to choose your language if it isn't English, and then you're going to type in your book title. So I'm typing in the book that I created for this class, The 3 Worst Mistakes Authors Make. And then Wendy, can you put yourself on mute? Thank you. Let's see now. Where was I? Then what you're going to do is put in the subtitle. Now, I have a really long subtitle for this book, so I went back to my original document and I copied and pasted the subtitle for this because it's really long. And then I just pasted it right into this field here. They will tell you when it's too long, so you have to cut it down, but they do allow a really long subtitle, which is great because then it's on your sales page so people can see what your book is about without having to read the description. Then you're going to type in your author name. You can see where I've done it here. And in contributors, if you have somebody who's done illustrations for you, or somebody who's an editor who you really want to include in this, a translator, go ahead and put that here. But beware, because when you publish your book, those names are going to be on the actual sales page. You may or may not want that. I had an unfortunate thing happen to me where somebody hired me to design a cover for her, and she put me into her contributor, but then she took the cover that I created for her and really screwed it up and did a whole bunch of other things to it, and she made 26 little tiny versions of parts of her book, and my name was on every single one of them with this hideous cover that she had created from the cover I'd done. And so now that's in my author central page, and I have to go in and get the ISBN from every single one of those books and complain to Amazon with each ISBN, 26 of them, and say, please take that off my author page. I haven't done it yet. I will eventually, but man, what a pain. So be careful when you fill this out to make sure that the people you cite here are people that you want on your sales page and on your author page. Next, you're going to fill in this description. I used to leave this blank. I didn't know how important it was. It's critical. This is the description that sells your book on your sales page on Amazon. So what I like to do, there's two things that I like to do. One is I just take my info from my back cover and plug it in here, because that's what sells my book if it's a print book in a bookstore. Or I go into the book and I take the about this book information and plug that in. In this case, that's what this page is, the about information inside my book. And so I just copied and pasted it. And then I went to this website here, kindlepreneur.com/Amazon-book-description-generator. Because if you plug in the information straight off your book or your document, it's going to end up plain text, and it doesn't show any paragraphs or bolds or italics or sizes. When you put in your information here in this box, you can then modify it with bold, italic, underline, etc., and then hit generate my code, and here it is with the code in it. You can see, you know, where it has the code written in right in there. And so you copy that and you paste that. See, that's what it looks like. I put it into a plain text document so you could see it. You plug that right into that field, and that will give you a really nicely formatted description on your Amazon sales page, you know, where people see your book. The next thing you're going to do is check, yes, I own the copyright and hold necessary publishing rights. I have heard a lot about public domain work being refused by Amazon. I rarely use public domain work. You cannot use it straight off. You know, if you get a public domain piece, you know, a textbook or whatever it is, you cannot use it straight off, or else they won't let you publish it. Because I don't know why. They just don't like it. I guess too many people were doing it, saturating the market with the same book. So don't, you know, as far as I know, not having a public domain work is better. You own the copyright, you've written it, you've done the illustrations, or you've had them hired for you, and you hold the rights. Okay, so plug that in right there. The next thing you do is put in your keywords. You get 7. Now I've tried a lot to mush around with this. You know, for instance, instead of just write books, I would write books, comma, publishing, comma, sell books, and then put 3 or 4 in each of these. But it doesn't work. They take the they take the first 7, no matter where you put it in. So, and these are the categories that these are the words that people are going to type in when they're searching for your book. or a book like yours. And then you're going to choose up to 2 browse categories. This is pretty important, I would say. And the thing that annoys me about this is that their categories are really skimpy. And if you don't see a category that fits your book, you do get to call them and say, hey, you know, I need a new category, and they will set that up for you. But what a pain in the butt to have to do that every time. But anyway, okay, you choose the categories, and let's say I have a nonfiction book, so that will open to a whole long sub list, and I'm choosing self-help for my book. And then I'm choosing creativity. So down here underneath it, all of a sudden, you'll see nonfiction, self-help, creativity. So that's my first category. Then I'm going to go up to business and economics, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to choose entrepreneurship, because it doesn't have anything about writing books or authors or anything like that. You know, I should call them and say, hey, you know, we need something for authors. So those are my 2 categories for this book. And then you hit save. The next thing you're going to do is look and see if your categories came through after you hit save. Sometimes they won't come through, so you have to do it again. Amazon is pretty fussy sometimes. And something that's really annoying that happens is that all of a sudden in the middle of your setting your book up, for some reason, they have you all of a sudden log in again, and you've lost all your information and you do it again. So that's why I put everything that I put in my book into a plain text document so that I can just slam those things right back in again. It doesn't take me very long. But do save your information into a plain text document, and then save that along with your book file, just in case it does get lost. Does this book contain language, blah, 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 for children under 18 years? Inappropriate? No. If yes, well, there you go. But most of the times it's going to be no. And then when you hit save and continue, this means you're at the bottom of the page, and you hit save and continue, and you're set up so far. The next page at the top, you will see if you want a free KDP ISBN. As I've said before, if you get an Amazon or KDP ISBN, they are your publisher, and when your book is on the sales page, it'll read as independently published. You cannot use this ISBN in any other print-on-demand website. You're going to have to change your book just a little bit, or maybe the title just a little bit, and then publish it, say, on Lulu or Blurb or whatever. But you cannot use this ISBN anywhere else. So if you don't want to buy one from Bowker, you can use this. I always use this one because I don't feel like paying a whole bunch of money for ISBNs. I'm just cheap that way, I guess. But I write so many books that it would cost me a fortune because they're expensive. You know, you get I think they're like $90 a piece. It's pretty outrageous, I think. So when you get the ISBN, what you're going to do is highlight this ISBN, the number right here, and then go to your book and plug it in on your copyright page, and then re-export this as a PDF. So your manuscript is all ready to upload with the ISBN in it. Now you get to choose the publication date. This isn't really that important. They'll do a default date if you don't put anything in there. And then you get to choose the interior design that you want to do. For instance, you could go black and white interior with cream paper. I don't know why anybody would choose that unless, well, I really don't know, unless they want an antique look or something. You can choose color with white paper and black and white interior with white paper. This is your, the two black and white options are your cheapest. You know, like for instance, a 120 page book in color is going to cost you $12, $15. Black and white interior with white paper costs you $2.15 to $5. It is a huge difference. And you want to choose your trim size. This is the size that your book is cut down to in the end. So I chose 6x9. You can select a different size. They have all different kinds of sizes, but be careful because there are some which are notated to not be general distribution types, and they won't show up in general distributions. Now keep in mind that once your book has been published, you cannot change your title, your subtitle, or your trim size. So if you want to change it, you have to republish it under another name or whatever. You cannot change that because your ISBN has been notated, and that's it. So then you have bleed and no bleed. Choose bleed if you have an image on your cover that's going to go beyond the outside edge. You know, they've got that new matte cover. It feels like suede. It's nice, but it gets greasy fingerprints on it, and I don't like that, so I choose glossy. Glossy will get fingerprints too, but it's easier to clean off, so I chose glossy in this time. Now you're going to upload your paperback manuscript. For best results, use a formatted PDF file. You can also upload a doc file, docx, HTML, or RTF, but your best results will be with a PDF. So you hit upload paperback manuscript, you choose your file, it'll upload, and then it will read manuscript uploaded successfully. Then you're going to scroll down underneath that to upload your cover file. Now this, I want you to be really careful because you see this little box down here? Check this box if the cover you're uploading includes a barcode. That means that you have already purchased a barcode and you have the barcode on there in your design. If you don't check the box, they will add a barcode for you, and you don't want them to overlay their barcode with yours. So if you already have a barcode, check the box, make sure you do. If you do not, do not, right? Now up here, it says use Cover Creator to make your book cover. Never, never, never use it. All of the covers I've ever seen created in Cover Creator look like an amateur in 5th grade created it. They are horrible looking. They've got hideous templates, bad fonts. Do not do it. Get a professional to design your book cover if you don't want to do it. But for goodness sake, don't use the Cover Creator. Now upload a cover you already have that's print ready. That means it's print ready, it's got the front and the back and the spine on it, it's got the bleed already, and then you click here, upload your cover file, and when it's uploaded successfully, this little green box will show. Next, you will launch the previewer. This is pretty critical to do, and you can't go any further without it. And what's going to happen is it's going to take a long time, you know, a couple of minutes, and then your book will come up on the page and it'll look like this with all these dots around the outside. These dots simply mean that they're showing you the safe zone and the trim zone. The red dots are the safe zone. Don't put any type or pictures or anything you care about beyond that dot line. And then the white dots are the trim lines where they actually cut your book. Okay, so if when your book comes up on this page and it doesn't go all the way to one of these lines, you've got to do some tweaking on your book covers so that this will work. And they will tell you in this left-hand column here, there's something wrong with your book cover, you need to fix your bleed, or something else, that may be on there that's happening. So this is really a great service they have by doing this for you, because you can publish your book and it can look like crap and then you won't even know about it until you have it in your hands. But this prevents that. Now, make sure that when you've created your cover, you make space for the barcode, because otherwise you're gonna have the barcode on top of text. You don't want that. This is really a cool system. I really like this. What you're going to do is you're going to click on the cover itself, and then see this little arrow here? You're going to click on that, and it'll bring you to the inside of your book. I've skipped a couple of pages here, and you can go all the way through your book. I highly recommend going through every single page, because there will be pages sometimes that you'll have a mistake on. You'll have a mistake on one page that they will catch, but you didn't catch it. So go ahead and click on those little arrows and go all the way through the book. Now, I underlined and redified these two places here because these are typical places where I screw up. Often I will put the header too high on the page, and they'll say, sorry, this is outside the safe zone, you have to change that. And the same thing with the page. So I've just, from now on, I've been putting my header and my footer at least 1/4 of an inch or even more away from the safe zone here, or the top of the page, because I don't want to have to keep changing and tweaking my manuscript. And when you've gone all the way through your book and checked all the pages, you're going to hit approve. This is where you get to save and continue and find about what prices you can charge. So we'll go there. Click all territories unless you want individual territories. I don't know why you would do that, but it's possible. So I always click all territories. And then I set my list price. You see this under here where it says minimum $538, maximum $250. This will include their price for printing and their cut. So your minimum price is set here. So I add $4.5, $5, depending on what kind of book it is, to their minimum price. And I like to make a 98, 97, 99 ending. That's just what I like to do. And this will show you it costs $2.15 for printing. That means when you order your own copies of your book, you're only going to be paying $2.15 plus shipping. Okay, so if you order 100 of these, it'll cost you what, $400.15, whatever that is. And then your royalty will be $3.84 when you sell this book. You can click on expanded distribution for other marketplaces, and I like to change all of these prices in all of these marketplaces to be the same as in the US. It's going to be much more, for places like Japan or the UK. It's going to be in pounds, but I don't care. I just want it to be consistent all the way across. And you can see what your royalty will be in each of those cases. Now that you've set that, you can say publish your paperback book, but be careful. Make sure that everything is copacetic and in line and is perfect before you publish your paperback book. You want to be careful. And do not, well, you can, of course, but I don't like to request printed proofs, because the proof copy comes with a banner across it saying not for retail use. What use is that to me? So I wait until the book is published, and then I order my own copies. Besides, you pay the same thing, so why bother? You know, I think it's silly that they do that. I don't think that they should have proof across it. If it's a proof that you don't like, you can write proof in the book yourself, you know. So here we go. We're going to publish your paperback book. And then when your book goes live, this is what it's going to look like on your book creating page. It will say live with unpublished changes. That means you haven't gone in there and tweaked it at all, because you actually can tweak your book, you know, on the inside. Once it's published, you know, let's say you've made a mistake or you want to add something or take something out, you can always tweak it and republish it. That's okay to do. You just can't change the cover. You just can't change the author name, the subtitle, and the title. What was it? The other thing I can't remember right now. I'm getting spacey because I've talked for so long. Okay, so when you do want to tweak your book, see these three little dots here? You click on that and it'll give you a whole bunch of options to change your book. So you can do that, but this is what your book page will look like. And then on your author page, it will come up like this. You can see where my subtitle got published along with the title. You know, the 3 worst mistakes authors make, stop getting blocked. Okay, that was my title. And then my subtitle, how to stop the overwhelm, etc. So this way, when somebody looks at my subtitle, they can see what my book is about. They don't even have to read the description. Okay, and then here is the picture of the book on Amazon. So that's how to publish your book on Amazon. And I'm going to stop the share.